trade unionism and trading blames. It's important to know that when workers give you an ultimatum, they have reasons to give you that ultimatum, and most times the ultimatum comes when you have not fulfilled or you renege in your side in the agreement, and most of those agreements have come because you had a sit down and then you all trashed out the issues. Very often we find that the reason people go on strike is when some of all these unresolved matters have lingered on for so long. And trade unionism in Nigeria is not new to the government. The government knows when the people say they are going to down tools, they will down tools if you don't come to, and if you don't fulfill your side of the bargain. So today we're going to look at the purpose of all this trade unionism, the power of trade unionism, the conflict and the demands. We're going to talk about the government angle and the government role in all of this. Then the consequences of the strike, if they actually down tools, especially if it's very a sector like health. Then what are the resolution options for people to do? All of this is important, and we also believe that if you are a member of a union, especially the joint union of medical workers that are going on strike, I understand that tonight they gave us Tuesday night. From Tuesday night they will go on strike, and they've been meaning to go on strike since government promised them. Okay, so they had a meeting, and government said, give us 5 weeks, or was it 6 weeks, we would resolve all these things. And now it's 6 months. It's 6 months after the joint medical workers have given government the window to negotiate and fulfill.
So the question comes back to since there was a sit down, what they're asking for, is it their right or it's not their right? And why did you agree and then renege on the agreement? I think that's basically
most times, what even causes it is that when these people ask for something, they genuinely deserve them.
Definitely.
And the argument of government, or the reason government always puts forward, is there's no money to do any of this. But then you hear the kind of money that members of the National Assembly and even executive share. There's no governor that has complained that his allowances have not been paid.
Have not been paid, exactly.
There's nobody in the National Assembly
that has said that he's going to down tools and
exactly because
his allowances have not been paid. Government.
And you hear that these people are done, especially the medical sector. The medical sector is not where we should be. Maybe that is why we have our government officials that go outside.
I think it's basically because they have the opportunity to go out. The health sector has been one that has been riddled with all sorts of issues and conflicts. I don't know if you've had the privilege of going to any of the general hospitals lately. Yes, in Lagos State, perhaps they're trying to make things look a bit, but then you see the desperation, you see the pain, you see the lack on the faces of people. I was sitting in the general hospital Bagada when an accident victim was brought in, and he was abandoned there because he didn't come with anybody that was going to pay card and everything, and people were screaming, and the guy was in pain. And I mean, this doesn't happen in any country that makes sense.
Let me even, you know, when London, and my wife was eating fresh fish banga, this in okra soup, and then a bone got stuck in her throat. And thank God your Shonaya and Daddy Shoki and a few other friends were around. And they were like, let's go to the hospital. So we got in the vehicle and we're going to. I said, where's my card? They said, no, don't worry. So we got to the ER, the emergency service. So we got there in about like 2 minutes. They called her in and looked through this thing, removed. Meanwhile, we had done all our traditional things: swallow big eba, drink everything. Water, take oil, lick salt. This one, we done all those ones and it didn't work. And she was crying that she could feel the bone. We got there. And in less than 10 minutes, the man had gone in with something and taken the bone out and showed it to her. It was small.
Very small.
Very small bone.
But enough to damage.
And then, so we finished. When I said, how much is this? She said, no, it's emergency. It's okay. No card. I mean,
Huh?
no card. No
That
anything.
emergency, I mean, those are things that make you. I say this all the time. There are times you travel and come back and you see the way things are being done there. And I was sharing an experience of getting to an airport, and it was a Changi airport in Singapore. And I don't know where the emotion came. I actually cried till I left the airport.
You left because of how?
I was crying. I don't know where the tears came from, because I'm like, is it that we don't travel? So it's the same thing. They go for medical treatments abroad. And of course, nobody cares about what's happening in the hospitals here. And that's why the health sector will want to down their tools. And it doesn't, there's no emergency, there's no seriousness about it. There's no quickening around it to say, okay, what's going on? How do we resolve it? Please don't down tools. Because the number of people, even if they down tools for 3 days,
the consequences.
The casualties that we're going to experience.
Because they didn't down tools and the casualties are increasing.
Who is taking cognizance of all this?
All right. So we have a phone number in case you are a member of the Joint Union of Medical Workers and you have an explanation to give to us. And indeed, if you are on the government side and you think you have light to throw on this, please, we'll be very happy to hear from you so that we can balance the issue. Yeah. So the number is on the screen. You can dial the number and let us talk with you. And we'll be back after this break. All right, so this is still Vacancy, and we're talking trade disputes, trade unionism, and trading blames. Government is saying the unions are too harsh and do not understand the economic dynamics right now, do not know what they should understand, that there's no money anywhere. Government is running in a very tight budget. They should also understand that if they down tools, a lot of people will die. They play a very key role in the health sector, the medical workers, because this is not the senior medical officers, this is just the workers. Yeah. And if they down tools, it's going to affect the delivery of health services. So the government is asking them to please call off the strike as planned. But the unions are saying they have been talking to you over time.
For months.
And you have not done anything about it. They also said that they had given government the 5 weeks that government had asked for. They had said they gave government 2 weeks to resolve it. Government said, no, give us 6 weeks to resolve this matter. And within those 6 weeks
became 6 months.
6 months. And they have now decided to go on strike. And starting from this night, Tuesday night.
It's sad because there are certain sectors. So we have problem in our health sector. We have problem in our education sector, which are, these are the bane of society. These are the sectors that are key to any developing society. And there's no urgency to address any of these issues. I mean, take developed countries. You will find out that, if, for example, nurses are not people that you play with. They are well paid. They're well taken care of. The opportunities are there. But in Nigeria, these are not things that are important. I still don't understand how it is that politics is more important than education and the health sector. It's the same thing. You're working for if an employer of labor that has refused to meet the terms of agreement. Of course, what else do you expect?
All right. So the main issue is unpaid allowances, unpaid benefits, and these have they said this amount, some of them 6 months, 6 years that they've not been paid, and some people are asking for this. And these joint workers, the workers, the medical workers, they are the ones that actually make make. In fact, they're the ones. They're like the civil servants.
Exactly.
So it's not even the doctors,
Yeah.
the nurses, or the midwife. Those ones that provide the basic
but
services.
They are the key part of the health sector. They are the key part of the health sector, and you need them. So it's not as if if they down tools and go, there's no need. You need them.
They're as important as the petroleum sector.
Exactly.
You know when those ones say they down tools.
Exactly. All of us.
Everybody goes to queue for the little fuel that's available, and so we need to begin to take them seriously. The number is on the screen, and would like to hear from our callers, please.
I mean, a couple of years ago, we had the same issue. So it seems like every year, it is either we have the education sector going on strike or we have the health sector going on strike. So it's a constant repeat of where we are.
Okay. There is Ima calling from Aba. Ima, how are you?
Yeah, good morning, Mike. I'm
Good
fine.
morning.
Yes, I'm calling based on what we're talking about. So I want to put some words into this conversation.
We're listening.
You know, our politicians, they make us flimsy promises that they don't fulfill. And based on this issue, I believe that they travel abroad. And whenever they go to abroad, before they do anything, they pay them. So they just take us as nothing, that whatever thing we see in this country, we should take it. So they are meant to pay their workers because they are working for them. If you go to academic, that's the same thing that they do. In health sector, that's the same thing that they do. Because of their children are not here, none of their family members are here. So they can toy with any sector, those sectors, they have nothing to gain. So if they won't tell me that they don't have money to pay the sector, they should smash their salary from the Senate House, the President, they should smash their salary there and pay all these people. They're all family members, they have issues to settle. They have husbands to pay, they have their children to attend to. So government should look into those things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ima from Aba. He says that the excuses that government gives are flimsy, and government should, to resolve this matter, government should slash salaries from the National Assembly to presidency.
My thinking is, what exactly is the plan for this sector? So if you don't pay them the allowances that they're asking for, what exactly is the plan? And that's why we're having a high incidence of medical tourism outside. So other countries are benefiting from us.
Yeah.
Benefiting from us because people don't want to die. People would rather that, first of all, if you don't have hospitals and doctors and hospitals that are not well equipped or that just behave anyhow and don't take time to diagnose and treat. So simply because of that, people are running away from the country.
You know, interestingly, there used to be a time in this country, teachers came from Pakistan, India, Malaysia.
Yeah, saying in Unical, there were days in Unical that we had South Africans in our schools.
They came.
Exactly.
The teachers came. We had about like 3 teachers, one Pakistani, one Malaysian, and one Indian, that were in Nigeria because they believed that our educational sector was better and the salary was better than theirs, and then they came. But after everything got messed up, they ran out. And we're losing a lot of people in the medical sector.
Of course, not just in the medical sector. So there's been a huge brain drain going on recently. I mean, the conversations around social media has been the number of people, middle class, not even just any, middle class people who are leaving their jobs. I mean, I was reading someone said someone earns 1 million naira a month, decided to leave the job because he got the visa for Canada and he's left with his family.
Ola is calling from Abuja. Ola, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ola. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ola. How are you?
Okay,
we lost Ola. Okay. Hello? Okay. All right, so we'll go on a break now, and when we come back, we'll be rounding up the show. All right. So the payroll is one of the reasons that makes them complain.
Yes.
Then the working environment. Some of them again the arrears. Then most of them also complain that they don't give them training. Retraining, you know, go for professional courses and all of that. The incentives are not there. So what value addition do these people bring to the job if you don't let them go train? And
that's what I'm saying. So it's an employer-employee agreement, which of course the employer in this case is failing behind.
That's government.
Which is government. They are failing in every single thing that they're supposed to do. I think I saw recently where a doctor posted the picture of, he said, the food that when doctors are on call, so those night shifts that they do, the food that they give to them, and it was totally disgusting. And so you look at it that a medical student goes through the whole rigors of medical school, or if whether it's a nurse that goes through the whole rigors of nursing school and all of that. Let's assume that even our nursing schools and our school of midwifery are not as tedious as they ought to be, but goes through all of that and decides to work. And then, like you said, the working conditions are not fair. The salary itself is, you are owed salaries for 6 months and allowances of 6 months on end and not paid. These people have families. Now, are you saying that these people will find opportunities and not leave?
Of course. Now, the teachers in Kogi that were on strike, and they've asked the governor to pay up, and so the governor just released 4 billion.
But why do they need to tell them to pay up? Why do they need to threaten to strike before they do what they're supposed to do?
I think the payment of those allowances were being handled by local government, the council, the chairman of the local government.
Who was not releasing the money.
Exactly. Hello, there's someone calling from Edo. Yeah. Okay, we'll have a caller from Edo State. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I want to contribute to that issue of strike and National Assembly.
Okay.
The Jumbo 3 National Assembly they are receiving.
The what?
For me, I don't blame them. The problem we are having is labor.
Okay, the labor unions is the problem.
Yeah, the problem we are having is labor as a union, labor union.
Okay, the labor unions are the problems. Okay.
They are the problem. The reason is that they will not go on strike for the Jumbo State National Assembly they are receiving. Not that they will be fighting for just cause to increase their salary. Are they ever raised an alarm that we are going on strike if National Assembly pay is not reduced?
Okay.
I have the force to do that.
Okay.
If there is no counterpoint to National Assembly, things will remain the same forever. So they should put their hearts together and get it straight.
All right. Thank you so much. I get his point. Is that the biggest problem we have is labor unions themselves. That they don't protest the huge amounts that these members of National Assembly get. And the fact that all their benefits come in at the right time.
No,
so
it's a matter of focusing on what concerns you. I hear what he's saying, but at the end of the day, it's a matter of I'll go and protest about your salary when my salary has not been paid, my allowances are not being paid. It's a case of misplaced priority. I'm going to protest about mine.
It is the hen and the egg,
because
it means that if you get that right, then
but the thing is that even if I protest about their salary, does not mean that money will be translated to me. I think we need to get the issues right. Okay. The truth of the matter is that yes, people can protest about that, but what is the assurance that I protest about your allowance, the allowance is slashed and then it's given to my sector? It doesn't work like that. The point is I have to protest about the fact that I thought what he was going to say was that the labor unions themselves, this is the whole issue of threatening and then of course going for a few weeks and then of course coming back. I think that until something drastic is done, then government itself is not going to sit up to say, okay, we've really now noticed a total collapse of this sector and we need to wake up and do something about it. So this whole idea of threatening, we are going on strike. In fact, if you don't pay us, we are going on strike tomorrow. I think they should just strike. Let's even know that the country has come to a standstill. And then perhaps maybe government will be willing to do something.
All right, we have Frank calling again from Edo. Frank.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you, Frank?
Fine, sir. I've been watching you, sir.
Okay.
All the time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Alibaba, please, you stand for, you can do it. You can do it for Nigeria. You can do it for humanity. Please, Alibaba, stand for Nigeria. Stand for the youth of the Commonwealth. Alibaba, you can do it, please. I've been watching you. I've been watching you, sir. You can do it. It's only you one that I've been seeing it all the time. You can stand for the ghetto youth. You can stand for the youth of Nigeria today. Please, Alibaba. Please, Alibaba.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Frank. Let me put this matter to rest once.
I'm from Delta State.
Okay, wait. Okay, Frank. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me put this matter to rest. I've been, this is what these people say. I got a call from my people that I should run.
They are clamoring for you.
They are clamoring. They say, I did not want to run.
But you see, they cannot let me rest.
Yes, they have. So I am running because my people asked me to.
Okay, so
you can ask me from now till tomorrow. I'm not running.
It's better you state it categorically.
I don't know how to run. That's why if you chase me, you will catch me. I don't know how to run. Let me just put it out there clearly. Until the political dynamics and the electoral process of this country is changed, anyone who goes there with a mind to serve will not get it. You still have political godfathers who want to, in fact, change the things that they want to suit the things that they want. So, anybody running right now is taking a gamble because the machineries that people have set up have not been destroyed. You see how they were fighting the PVC. They fought the PVC. They didn't want the PVC to work.
And now they are not talking about the PVC. Have you also noticed, because again, it's all part of this issue, have you also noticed that this, for me as a person, and this is very personal, that it seems to be a calculated attempt for the PVCs not to work because people can't get their PVCs.
Of course.
People are not getting the PVCs. So what are we talking about? And elections are around.
Even at that, there are parts of the north where children of 10
are getting PVCs.
Are voting. And when you ask them, they say, oh, his father cannot come and vote.
The machinery that has been put in place, which is also affecting the health sector, affecting the education sector. Sometimes I ask, and I'm bothered, do we have people speaking for education? Do we have the education minister? Because we don't hear anything.
See, when somebody raises an alarm, we can call him a whistleblower now, in the National Assembly and said, this is how money is being spent on it, they suspended him. That's just an indication of how things go. When somebody says, like the man that was in the pensions scam, and he disappeared, they said he came back again into the civil service.
Issue has died.
Those are the kind of people that make me believe that a straight person can't work with it. I won't last 1 week.
No, you can't.
I won't last 1 week because
you won't last 3 days because first of all you are going to be alarmed. And what happens is when people get in and they say, oh, if you don't, because the argument sometimes is if you don't get in there, how would you change the system? If you don't get in there, how would you be able to have the conversations around changing the medical sector?
Look at Shehu Sani.
But you can't.
Shehu Sani has said that the money they pay themselves is too high, and I think they're about to suspend him. But in any case, trade unionism.
There's no vacancy.
Trade dispute, trade unionism, and trading blames is what we're discussing today because there's so many strikes, and the one that is looming now is the one in the medical sector.
And that is very calamitous.
The Joint Union of Medical Workers are going on strike. They're going on strike, and from midnight today, the strike will be in effect. And I think that the Minister of Labour and every other agency Minister of Labour and the Honourable Minister of Health should get together and see that these people's demands are met. Because if they were petrol tanker drivers,
there will be a meeting.
The meeting will be done immediately. I think people like this should be attended to prompt and quick. On the show today, our position is that when you give people like 5 weeks, you say give us 5 weeks window to resolve these matters, resolve them and pay them their benefits. If you can only meet 2-3 of the demands that they've requested, you meet those demands and then table the other ones and say, okay, we've resolved these 2.
Can we have a conversation?
Around the others that we have not resolved?
Because then there's a basis for having a conversation.
Exactly. So please, we do not want that to happen, and so the consequences are there. the consequences are there, and from this show, Vacancy, since we're talking about the labor market on this show always, we ask that you do something about it. Ini?
Yes, and thank you very much for staying with us on the show. Please follow us on all our social media pages. And of course, send us emails. We are also still out looking for sponsorships for this program. And we hope that you will give us a call or send us an email, even as we continue to keep this show. It is important to Nigeria. It is important to the entire generation that we seek to help, that we begin to talk about the issues that are important. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
We thank all our callers. Thank all our callers for calling, and we thank you so much. Cameramen, crew guys, thank you so much. Gonzalo, thank you. Bye.